Welcome back to another video. Today we did chest and back. I started off with rows. Usually I start off with bench, like um like all the time. I usually start with my compound movements, but my compound movements are currently in use. Like if someone's using bench, someone's using squat, I just do like rows or something. I didn't go too heavy here only because I had bench next, so I went kind of light, but heavy enough to the point where I still could get a stimulus or enough stimulus, right? Um, yeah, kept it pretty light. Like that was at least like I don't know 3 maybe 4 IRR, right? But yeah, I did start with 135. I obviously started with the bar, or I won't say obviously, but I usually start with the bar and just work with that. But we started with 135. 135 moved pretty easily. Um, this is like 160. No, is this 160? No, this is 185. We did 185. 185 move decently easy. I won't say super easy, but it moved pretty easy. And then we did 205. I would have did 225 today, but I don't know. This way, this week, not this day, but this week, I've just been sick. I'm still sick currently. Um, so I don't know. It just wasn't, I guess, primed or moving weight as easily as I usually do. And I'm also not carved up or eating as much as I should be. So my lifts are a little weaker. Then we did like uh incline dumbbell press. Now I could definitely go heavier than this. I just did 50s because I know my stability is not the best. So if I were to do like 60, 70, right, it would be really iffy and I just wouldn't be able to push it for real. But I know tomorrow, or not tomorrow. I know eventually um I'll get good enough stability to a point where I could do it. Before I was doing like 70s for the same exercise, but I had better stability. I just haven't done these in a while, but it moved all right. I didn't really get much of a pump, but it was all right. It was more. I was more focused on just trying to work on my stability, just getting this exercise kind of like ready for when I want to go heavier and whatnot. Then I did flies. Now, this fly machine is a really different fly machine. Like, it's an unusual fly machine compared to most gyms. I usually don't see this, but it feels pretty good. It's not like a terrible fly machine. I put it on like in like my armpit elbows, I guess, if you want to call it that. Um, or my inner elbows, I guess. And I just did it like this. This feels fine in my opinion. Um, it could be better if you want a better stretch. I'd say with this variation, you don't get as much of a stretch compared to the other variations. So just holding in your hands instead of doing it from your freaking elbows. So just because your elbow is farther back, right? So yeah. When your elbow is farther back when you're holding it by your hands instead of your elbows specifically. When you hold it by your elbows don't go as far back compared to holding it to your hands if you are bending your elbows. If you have your hands straight or your arms completely extended, then it doesn't really hit your well, you don't really get that much of a stretch. I then did lat pull downs. I went pretty light first set. Then I'm doing like I think almost a full stack on this machine. I could definitely go heavier than this. I did this for like I don't know 8 reps. I think this is the fifth one. 6, 7. Yeah, we could definitely full stack this machine more than likely. Um, so yeah, next chest and back day we'll be going heavier next week for sure. Like this week was kind of just like a recovery type week, going moderately light. Still going to failure. Like I'm still training to some sort of intensity, right? Instead of keeping it pretty chill. Um, or instead of keeping it extremely chill, I'm keeping it moderately chill. So it's intense, but not super intense. So yeah. I did this chest press after. I kind of didn't need to do this, but I did it just because like my chest felt kind of eh. Um, so I was kind of chasing the feeling, not necessarily an optimal way of doing things, I guess. It really depends on the person, right? But for me, it felt a little iffy, so or it didn't feel a little iffy, but it just could have been better. Now, the where my camera's positioned, like I look smaller where the camera is positioned. Um, so like next time, and it's just not a good position at all, like where the camera is set up. So I'm gonna like move it next time, like right under me, so you could actually see what I'm seeing. For the most part, the only reason I didn't put it under me at that time is because the camera would always kind of like block my abdominals, so you couldn't see my abdominals. So it just kind of got a little annoying, or even my lower back at that. So, or even covered my erectors. So yeah, but I'm just gonna put it lower and like tilt the camera up so then y'all could properly see everything. But yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next